有点水情，
right
是因为
So, the reason why I watch Peppa Pig is because I want to learn Chinese more fluently. Now, you might ask, why is it that I have studied Chinese for about 2 years now, but I'm still watching Peppa Pig? Well, number one thing to be straightforward is that it's not like I've been studying it 8 hours a day every day. So I've been self-studying it, and sometimes I've had a lot more time to study it. A lot of times I've had very little. Now, to the second point, the major point is this. I will pretty much go to any resource that will help me with becoming more fluent in my language. So English obviously is basically, my native language. Then Chinese, and then there's Tigrinya. For each of them, I will choose anything that will make me more fluent. English, I just did that naturally because, growing up. But with my Chinese, I had to do that actually with intention. So I had to go out and find those stories that were like made for babies, like nursery rhymes. I had to go out and look for those little, like those videos that were made for freaking like preschoolers. And I just watched the Chinese videos, no matter how elementary they were. And 那是因为现在我觉得我的中文有更大的进步. So I feel like I have benefited, and I have gotten a lot of value from making sure that I start with the simple before I try and level up. Now, sometimes I've done it the opposite way. But Peppa Pig is one of those TV shows that I have recently, especially recently, started really watching because, listen, if it can teach me new expressions, if it can teach me new words that I do not know, then of course that TV show must still in some aspect, it must still be useful to watch. And specifically for me, especially in what the videos yesterday and the day before, I told you guys that I felt personally that my verbal Chinese was lacking, that it was not where I wanted it to be. And so a TV show like this, I think it will bring it more out of me to hear more Chinese. Actually, not hear more Chinese, but to speak more Chinese. I'm in China now, but you've got to understand that it's a little bit more complicated if you're an international student. First of all, you're busy anyway because of classes. I'm busy with my classes and homework. And then you might have, especially if if you're an international student and you arrive at the university, the very first people you will meet are going to be international students, and most likely that means you'll have a lot of international students as your friends first before you even meet a lot of Chinese students. But I made sure to now, because that happened to me, I had a lot of friends, but like most of them were international. I didn't have a lot of Chinese friends. Now I have a bit more Chinese friends. But even so, it's not like they have time to just come and talk to me in Chinese just for my own Chinese education. We're all students. We're busy. And so sometimes you can get in this enclave where you're just around like other international students that speak English, or you're just by yourself and just stuck and just busy with your classes and can't focus on your language. Because I'm in computer science, so my major's not even in Chinese anyway. Anyhow, something like Peppa Pig it's kind of funny to think about, but it's practical. And in language learning, practicality is key. So, yeah, that's why I watch Peppa Pig. It gives me more words in my vocabulary, and it is a TV show where it's simple enough for me to understand it. I understand the Peppa Pig episodes. I'm not like so completely out of it. I understand what they're saying, but at the same time, they speak pretty fast, right? It's made for Chinese native speakers that are children, yes, but they speak at the fast speed. It's normal speed, but like fast for a learner, and they have a full vocabulary set, and you literally can learn from the show. It teaches you words. It teaches you new expressions. All of it, especially if you're somebody like myself sometimes, that sometimes you just want to skip over the TV shows. I like TV shows, but sometimes I just find myself doing something else, like doom scrolling. And I have TV shows that my friend, my really good friend, Chinese friend, recommended me, but I have to admit it to myself. Sometimes I feel like they're a little too complicated to understand linguistically. Like the vocabulary might be too hard. And so I have to be honest with myself and say, instead of skipping over to those more difficult TV shows, let me start with something like Peppa Pig, and sometimes watch those other more engaging, the more fun TV shows that are like for my age group. But let me also not discount Peppa Pig. Okay, let me not discount the cartoons for kids. Because you know what? Listen, it doesn't matter who it's for. Apparently, if you're still learning something new from it, it's for you. So that's how I take it. That's why I watch Peppa Pig, guys. Watch more Peppa Pig, okay? Can you hear it? Chinese version, not the English version. I would never subject myself to that kind of torture. Good, I was just playing that. Yeah, I would not. In English, I don't need it in English. I don't need to learn English like this. But in Chinese, I do. And so, hey, admit it to yourself. If you need to watch it, just watch it. If you're gonna learn, if it teaches you something, listen. Don't be ashamed to admit it. You learned something from it, okay?